There's that crazy chat filter again. Honestly, I don't know what YouTube's doing. They changed the way you set up a live, too. Let me turn down the volume on my computer here so you don't have to hear all my junk mail filtering in. I'm not even sure because this is not showing that I am filming live. So I'm just going to get on with it. Yeah. Whatever. So, I couldn't get that gold off of my nail. I guess I could scrape it off. That's from last night. There we go. There I am. Okay. So sorry I'm late. Mike had his old man rounds that he does in the mornings. And so he's like, you want me to bring you some breakfast? And I'm like, sure. What do you want? Surprise me. So, I don't know, hour or so later, calls me up, says Burger King doesn't have anything. McDonald's parking lot is overflowing. He's just all over the place, which, whatever, you know, it is what it is. So anyway, my timing is weird. I'm not here at 10 and I'm not here at 9. I'm a quarter till. So what I wanted to do with you today is that I have one of these binders and I had like my favorite stamps in there, but there's some things that I'm not crazy about in these binders. And that is, for me, it's difficult to turn the pages. Okay, and then secondly, on a couple of my favorite sets, like some of the stamps would fall off. They just don't stay on here as good as I wish. And I don't want to lose them. So I came up with a different idea. And I ran out of craft color paper, which is why these are still in here. They still need to get done. But let's get these out of the way now. And I'll show you what I've done here. And you saw a picture of it. I have organized them. Let me just grab a handful. My Tim Holtz stamps, that is. We're going to do my Simon Hurley ones next. And this is just for the red rubbers. I've made these little, like, paper pockets. And like I said, I ran out of craft paper, so I did a few of them in black, and I've labeled them so that they, you know, everything stays in. And then what I used for bookends, because I'm going to order some bookends, was I just used a Tim Holtz splat box until I get my bookends. So I want to do the same for my red rubber Simon Hurley stamps. And so I started one already, and what it turns out is I need my paper to be, let's see here, where would this cut? Right about here. Where's this knife? Okay. 8.5, right by, I want to say I did 8. Yeah. And so I've cut my paper at 8.5 by 8, and I've got 14 of these, so I need 14 of these papers at 8.5 by 8. So I just need to cut the 11-inch side down to 8 on each paper. So I'll do that. That's 2. Hair is falling out. And then I'll save these for die cuts or labeling or whatever. Good morning, Cordelia. So I'm just now cutting these down, and this is 110-pound paper, so you don't want to use lightweight paper. You want kind of a heavy paper. What I like about the situation is as I, look through my stamps, I can see them, but they're also labeled on the side, so I can see what label they are. So I know what I'm looking for. Let me get him out of here. He's in the way right now. And I'm just using my big cutter because my small guillotine chopper obviously will not cut 8 inches. Well, it'll cut 8 inches, but I'd have to guesstimate where it is. Not a big fan of guesstimating. Morning, Peggy. So I'm all about having my stuff organized where I can grab it easily, because to be perfectly honest with you, in that binder, I don't tend to reach for the binder because it's just not convenient for me. Okay, we'll start here. Let me just flip this around. This is a We Are Memory Keepers trim and scoreboard. I've had it for ages. So what I want to do here, and let me just double check my measurements on the, well, it doesn't matter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to score each one of these at 6 1/4 by, so 6 1/4 and 6 1/2. So I'm just making basically a little gusset. We'll go 6 1/4 by 6 1/2. So 6 1/4 and 6 1/2, I should say. And this is going to be the side. La 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 la. This is the side that folds in. I don't like to. I like to trim the excess off before I score. So I'm going to cut this all the way to here, and then I'm going to cut this at the inner one, and then I'm going to go ahead and trim these up. And you don't even have to keep that piece, but I like the little bit of extra. I'm just trimming some little V's out of there, basically. And so I flipped it over, and I'm going to go ahead and score it. I mean, fold it and burnish. Yeah. Okay, and so I can see what's on the back of them. I'm gonna go with this right here, and what I want to do is I want to peel this off and trim some of it, because there's excess on there so that it fits in the little paper, and I want to trim that down. Try and get this on here evenly. As evenly as possible, so I want to trim it right to the edge. Get in there, you little stinker. Hi, Mike. I really am having issues with lights. I'm gonna buy some different lights because I feel like it's way too dark, and to me that just is not pleasant. So I'm gonna get, well, I'll just use my VersaFine Clair. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just a representation of what's inside, just in case I happen to be looking at it from a different angle. And I'm just going to take my paper and lay it on here and transfer that stamp. So that's the back. And now I'm going to take and grab my glue, and I'm going to fold this little tiny flap in, and then I'm going to flip this around, and I like to put just a little glue on the little tiny flap. Then I'm just going to flip this around so it's kind of standing up like yay, and then I'll add glue here, here, and all the way like yay. And then pick it up to make sure that it's coming all the way to the edge, and glue it in. Now you can take and flip it over and take your bone folder in there. What I did on my other ones is I went ahead and slid the stamp in and then burnish. So there, with ink all over it, but it doesn't matter. I've got kind of like a little book, right? And I'll put a label right across here. And then they'll, you know, with the bookends, they can go like that, or you could lay them in something. But I just like the idea, and I didn't quite get this one trimmed enough on there. Let me trim off some more, because I want them to fit flush in there. There we go. So now, oops, now I need to trim off a little off this side. Yep, I can see that. Because I know these stamps are roughly 6 by 6. So this is how I wouldn't organize my photopolymer stamps this way, but as far as these go, because they are 1/4 inch thick, I need a good storage solution. So let's do another. Let me just clean up my hands. Maybe I will stamp the backs of them later. Hi, Susie. Because my light just looks absolutely pink in here. I don't get that. See if that helps any. Not really. Let's see, what I need is light behind me. Okay, this one I had already done, so I'm going to go ahead and put this one together. Let's grab the little stamp and trim off all this excess. You do want to keep that because some of these stamps are peel apart stamps, so you don't want to lose the parts. But if I have the stamp in here, it kind of helps me kind of make sure that this is on here nice and straight. And then I have the ability to burnish. So you can stamp the back or don't stamp the back. I'm going to do it later so I don't get ink all over everything. So there's 2. And, you know, I'll put the labels here and it'll look just like books. I like the looks of books. I don't know about you guys. Okay, so another one. Go 6 1/4, 6 1/2, 6 1/4, 6 1/2. Now, the only thing to remember is, so that they're all the same, is to remember that the longer side is the bottom. So this is a little bit longer than that one. So when I burnish these, if I want that to be on the bottom, then I want this to be on the right-hand side. But first I'm going to do my trimming. So I'm trimming here to here. I'm going to trim here all the way up. Actually, I can trim this all the way. And trim right here. I just flip this over because I know that I want this to be on the right. I'll go ahead and do my burnishing. This is what happens though. I've got ink all over this. I'm just a messy crafter, that's all. I'm just a mess. Okay, let's grab another. And I'm going to keep these with these until I can make the labels so I don't get them confused. And this was the paisley. Yep. See, you could also keep like stamped pieces in there and stuff like that as well. All right, we've got the birthday candles. Okay, and I'm gonna trim off all the excess plasticky stuff here. What? Willie Nelson died? Oh, I love Willie Nelson. I mean, there comes a time, right, for all of us, I'm afraid, but still. That usually means 2 more are coming. They seem to go in 3s. All right. So, tuck this piece in. Well, rest in peace, Willie. Hang out up there with Joe. Joe loved you too. I'm just going to lay this here and hold it here and then put my stamp in and utilize it to make sure these are all nice and straight. You know, I belong to this one group on Facebook, and they've got this person or these trolls that come on there and put all this fake news about people who died. And they never put like the details, they just put like a teaser, which is really wrong. So I can save these if I want to, or I can toss them. You know, you could use them for shaker cards. They're nice and clean. We won't deal with that currently though. All right, so 6 1/4, 6 1/2. So the way you want to figure out your measurement, if if they're not going to be uniform, I want them to be uniform, is you just measure the size of your stamp, right? And maybe, try and get it at an even measurement, and then another 1/4 inch. And that's how you can come up with your measurements of how big these need to be. What did I do these ones? These ones I didn't trim the paper at all. And so I did these at 9 1/2 or 8 1/2 and 8 3/4. And then I did them at 7 1/4 and 7 1/2. And they fit, they're a little bit taller, but that doesn't bother me. I like to cut just to the right side of the score line for best results. And I basically just trim the score line completely out of this little tab. You could decorate these if you wanted to. You could do like washi tape all along here so they look like different books. As long as you've got your labels so you can see what they are just at a glance. I know some people like to flip through. I'm not a big fan. I don't know what happened to my score line there. A little crazy, but it'll be fine. Not to be perfect, and I went the wrong way. So let's flip it around. Oh, I didn't. This is the bottom. Okay. glue there. Let me get my next stamp ready. Did I even use this one? Not really. See, shame on me. A lot of times I don't use them because they're put away. And I just don't, my brain, you know, doesn't think about them unless I'm looking to do a specific project. But I like to be able to see my stuff and gather inspiration from what I'm seeing. Like, I know this one was kind of meant for holiday, but I feel like these can be feathers too, so there's that. See, that way if the stamp's in there, I have the ability to push down on this. On those, I stapled them. I didn't have the patience to wait for glue to dry. So I'll show you how we're looking so far. We've got our little library going here. Again, I prefer the looks of books to plastic containers. 6 1/4, 6 1/2. Now I have to tackle my Technique Junkie stamps. I have a ton of them because I'm on the design team, and so I get a lot of stamps. And of course I kind of cull through them, and I have a bunch that are kind of set aside that I probably wouldn't use again after the fact. Hi, Gareth. Okay, so we know that we want this to be the bottom. So I'm going to start with the side just so I don't get confused on what's what. So this is just a cream color paper I believe I got from Michael's Recollections 110 pound. I don't know why I put the glue right there just now. Didn't need to. What I needed to do was get out another stamp and get it ready. You could also organize these by holiday or whatever. I mean, a lot of bookshelves have multiple size books in them, so okay, that's ready to go. I can put it in there now if I want to. Go ahead and do my gluing. Push that up, push that over. And then they're just super easy to pull in and out of here. Like, yeah. Hi, Chow. Okay. Let's get our next stamp ready. This was the wood grain, and I don't know what I did with its backer, but I'll find the SKU for it because I tend to put the SKU on the label as well. You know, I have an affiliate, so if somebody wants something that I have, I want to be able to have them find it easily. Okay. That one's ready to rock and roll. Oh, good job. 6 1/4, 6 1/2. That light is really getting to my eyes. 6 1/4, 6 1/2. Okay. So I'm cutting down to the second line. All the way across, cutting from the second line all the way up, and then trimming out my little tab here. And guess what, y'all? These do not have to be perfect, but they do need to be functional. At least for my purpose. Look, you see right there, it's not happy. That's not a happy space, so let me make it happy. There we go. So nothing gets in the way of it, you know, its folds. You could make bookends with chipboard or whatever. Did I remember to do that one? Yeah, I did. Get this one ready to rock. Make sure that that's nice and straight. Get my glue down. You can use, I'm out of reptile adhesive and I can't get more until it gets warm again. So, but I still had leftover art glitter glue and it dries nice and fast, so there's that. Have some excess there, you can trim it off if you want to. All right, let's look at our library. Okay, looking good. Oh, thank you. Yeah, those are Simon Hurley stamps. I'm organizing them because I had them in, you know, one of those plastic containers, and they take up a lot of space because they're, you know, about 1/4 inch wide each. So in order to make space in there for my photopolymer stamps, I am trying to find a different solution for my red rubbers. 6 1/4, 6 1/2. By the way, if you came in late, the measurement of this is 8 by 8 1/2. 6 1/4, 6 1/2, and that's for 6 inch or 6 1/4 inch stamps. Once you get going on them, they go pretty quickly. My Tim Holtz ones, I did 34 of them because that's how many would fit in my splat box. I'll show you. You kind of want them to fit. Like if they're going to be, if you're going to have bookends, that's fine because you can change the orientation of the bookends. But this one, I needed them all to fit in this flat box. So I did some black ones because I ran out of craft, and I kind of like the way it looks with the black. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. It's kind of big to be able to see. But you see, as it's sitting up there, I can look to see what stamps they are from this direction or from that direction. And You know, you can't just, don't really want, I could store them like this, but they don't have to lay flat. So they're just like this, and they're up on my bookshelf here, which is within reach. It's the one that I showed you was wood grain. This one's really cool. I have a video. I forgot what I used the wood grain for. I think to make wood grain. Forgot it was a Christmas video with Tim Holtz stuff. All right, so here's our paisley. Or see, I don't know. I lost the backer to this, so I'll look it up on the Ranger website so that I can get the SKU and the name of the stamp. But this is one of the peel aparts. So this one comes out. Morning, good morning, Delina. We're organizing my red rubber, my Simon Hurley stamps right now. So far I have 14 of them, and I know I'll get more, so I don't want to make a box specifically to hold them. I'll use bookends. Now what happened here? Okay, they're all the same. I might make my own bookends because I want something that's going to go flat against them. The whole point is to, you know, kind of save space and yet have a place to keep my red rubber stamps that are easy to get to. I'll tend to use them more if they're easier to get to. So I'm just cutting that little V in there. I'll flip it over, pull off any excess. You could decorate these any way you wanted to, if you wanted to decorate them. You could make notes inside of here of maybe different techniques that you might use with the particular stamp. I'm not a big note taker, that's why I'm so forgetful. Mostly, it's not that I don't want to take notes, it's that I can't read my own handwriting afterwards. I just have that bad of penmanship. Slide this in here so that I have some surface to work against. This up, make sure it's all nice and snug as a bug in a rug, and rock and roll. I have a water one too. You're going to see that next. This is the water splashes. I'm sure I did a technique with those too, but I don't remember. It was probably around Christmas time. So this is not a peel apart. A lot of these are, a lot of them aren't. I tend to pretty much buy most of the background peel apart stamps. I'm not a big person on flowers. It just depends on the flower. I like flowers, don't get me wrong, I love them, but certain floralies I'm just not part of my wheelhouse. Okay, 6 1/4, 6 1/2, 6 1/4, 6 1/2. You're funny about flowers too, Gareth? Yeah, I mean, I love like natural flowers, but I don't know. You want a nice sharp point of your scissors there so that you can get these little boogers out of here. They would just impede your fold is all. I'll just flip it over and rip them off. Again, it's not rocket science. It's not an exact science. It's close. It's definitely math. Math in a very mild form that's not offensive. You could also make these and keep stacks of paper. You could make them sized to fit like your, like for instance, this is how I do. I cut up my paper and I keep it in little containers like that. But if you kept them in like little books and they were labeled on the side, you'd be able to see what was there and just grab the little book and grab however many you need out of there and then put the book back. Hi, Pam. These scissors are, yeah, they're Cutter Bee scissors from EK Success, and they're nice little scissors, that's for sure. All right, where am I here? Okay, I need to be here. Let me go ahead and lay him in here so I have a surface to work with. A little glue on that little tab. Make sure the tab's down. Put this over the tab. I'm sure there's a neater way to do this, but I don't care. It's my bottom line. I don't care. I'm not, I don't care if this is overlapping here. It's not, I'm not doing these two for a show necessarily. Okay. Now, did I have, nope, I lost the, see, I lose these paper things like this one. So this is a peel apart and it comes completely apart. So each one of these comes apart. So it's important to me that they definitely stay on this thing. Yeah, I'm doing it for me. That's right. I'm doing it for my convenience and so that I have more creative freedom. See, this one's not sitting on here even and it'll bug me. You will sit there evenly. There. What, Gareth, is it like 1 o'clock in the morning there? Or tell me about your timing there in the UK. Yeah, unless I'm doing it for a YouTube show. Right. Well, I decided just kind of out of the blue this morning. I was thinking that I'd probably discontinue this series because I watch a whole lot of junk journaling videos. And it just feels like there's nothing new. And I don't feel like I need to show you something that you could have already seen. So that's just kind of my way. 6 1/4, 6 1/2. You could do this with a knife too on your, on your cutting surface, but that means I have to move this out of my way, and no, I'm way too lazy for all that. But I know, like a lot of times on the lives, people don't necessarily care about what the content is unless they're watching the replay. They like to hang out, and visit. And I do too. Trust me on that one. Well, I wake up pretty cheerful unless I'm ill. But I don't like to be talked to until I've had my coffee. I don't mind being talked to. I don't want to have to respond. So yeah, I guess there is that grogginess, but I'm never grumpy. Ask Mike. Yeah, he's not watching anymore, so I'm not worried about it. How can I tell? Because I can hear his YouTube going. And it's not my voice. And that's fine. Okay, put that little flap down. Get this little guy's laying down. Get some glue going here. I'm almost out of paper. I'm going to have to cut more paper. So you can imagine, as you're looking at my growing library here, how much space that's taking up in one of my containers. It's too much. I still have this many more, and then the more that I get, that's going to take up almost a whole container, which I don't want that. I don't want that. Oh, this is the one I did a tutorial on, is this marble one. And I made a wood background with this marble. And I did the little Harvey soldier from Tim Holtz. Yeah, that's what that tutorial was. Now I remember. Now I remember. Because this makes like a wood grain background like you would see on antique furniture. Okay. Hi, Randy. That's right, Pam. If you don't drink coffee, you don't have to respond. That's a lovely thought. 6 1/4, 6 1/2. I know some people that don't drink coffee, but they still have to have like some sort of a, oops, I hate it when that happens. 6 1/4. Oh, now I went 6. Now I messed that one up, but that's okay. So we'll go 6 1/4, 6 1/2. Why is this not? I hate it when that does that. So ignore that line right there. Like soda pop first thing in the morning. I couldn't. Don't go past that line. Don't go where you messed up. I don't know why it does that. I guess because I'm not paying attention. Now I have a feeling that this one's going to hang over. This right here. I'm going to not sweat it. Just going to make sure that I fold and score it in the right place. Hi, Marva. So we had thunder last night and, you know, wild weather. And then this morning when I got up, it was like 34 degrees. Yesterday it was 72 was the high. And there we have a 20% chance of wintry mix. And I think that's why everybody's sick, because Mr. Weather can't make up its mind. Yep, okay. I'm gonna go the flattest side here and here. Yeah. But right now I'm sweating with my sweatshirt on. Personal summer. All right. So I have so far, and I have 1, 2, 3 left. I probably have more, but I don't know where they are right now. Let's see, did I? Yep, see, I don't have the little paper piece for that one either. This one's a hot mess, okay? I put sticky on here. I'm most likely not going to be able to use this piece as like we're using because I have sticky stuff all over it. The only thing to really do, and I don't really want to cover it either because I want to be able to, and the reason I did that is so I could stick this into my stamping platform. Let's do, okay, I have an idea. Let's grab another one of these clean ones and lay it down on here. And then I'll do my trimming, and that should take care of that. Hi, Regina. Now, before I can trim this, I need these all to be even. So that's what I'm going to do the best I can. Best I can, at least on one end. Come on. Yeah, I can't imagine drinking soda pop first thing in the morning. I can't do sugar first thing in the morning. Anything sweet. Like some people can eat donuts and stuff like that. Nuh-uh. I would be sick if I did that. Like physically sick. So each one of these stripes comes out if you've never seen this stamp set. And you can use them for a repetitive pattern or any way you want. And Simon makes a, oh, where is she? I don't know where I put her. Anyway, I have another one, but Simon makes one of these that's long like this, that these fit on. I don't know where I put her. This is the whole reason why to organize. And you can put these back together any old way you want, right? Mainly, I just want them to sit evenly on here so I can trim off the excess and fit them evenly in my bookshelf. My labeler, by the way, just so, because I probably won't have time to label these on camera, is one of these P-Touch jobs. You can change the font on it and stuff. It's not the best. I can waste a lot of label. But it could be user problem. I'm the first to admit that some gadgets I just don't bother to take the time to learn. You know, I work in technology. I troubleshoot people's phones all the livelong day. And so when it comes to technology after work, not in the mood. Not in the mood. Okay, here's the last one, and then they're fairly even, so I'll feel comfortable trimming this. There we go. I don't know, Gareth, if there are many retailers that carry Simon Hurley in the UK. It'd be great if there were more. It'd be great if, you know, like, the problem is like shipping. So I do giveaways, and oftentimes if my winner is abroad and they win something like this, it usually costs me about 20 bucks to ship it. which isn't horrible, but it is, you know, if you're the one spending the money. Just like when we buy from Crafty Critta in the UK. But it ends up the money, something about how money is changed over. Yeah, brain doesn't like math like that. It's not as much in US dollars as it is in Australian dollars. 6 1/4, 6 1/2. Oh, I got red ink on there. Lovely. 6 1/4, 6 1/2. Where did that come from? Must have been on there already. Oh well. Yes, I understand that. I do. Let's see. Yeah, the only place I've really ordered from abroad has been Australia. Because pretty much anything you can get in the UK, you can get here. Except the Tim Holtz Vault series of the of his older dies. You can't get them here. You can only get them in the UK. I don't know why that is. I know, I mean, they're made by Sizzix. I don't know if Sizzix has UK or not. Where'd my other little thingy go? I guess it didn't cut off. I thought it did. Ugh. Come on, get off there, stinker. All right. So for bookends, if you didn't want to purchase the little metal ones, you could make them out of chipboard, of course. You know, you just basically, and I could maybe show you how to make one, but even still, chipboard is going to be thicker than I want. The little metal ones, and I'm about to get some on Amazon, are really, really thin. Because, yeah, the only other thing about storing these is you do want them tight together. Otherwise, you know, they flop. Which, I mean, is not a huge deal, maybe to you, but it's a huge deal to me because I can't stand anything loose. So yeah, I'm the one that did this to these stamps. That's my bad. What I think is really super cool is that the crafting community is so diverse and from so many places. And that's what Hero Arts is celebrating right now, is diversity. They've got a lot of neat little articles and stuff like that over on their website. And, you know, it's not just the diversity in humankind, but the diversity in how, where we all craft. Because, oh look, I just so happen to have 2 pieces of paper left. I'm going to trim these down. You know, like, I love watching Louisa Heinzel, and she is in Austria. And I love that. And I have a friend in Austria who watches my videos, who sent me, and I think I showed you, a bunch of papers that were in German. So I love, you know, the, like, to me, it's more exciting to see on a junk journal something in German handwriting or German, you know, the German language than it is to see in the American or the English language. So that's just an offshoot of where we are here. Finishing these last 2. Here's our books so far. So, and I did stamp the back of one of them, but my ink was smearing, so I stopped doing that. I'll stamp them later. Yeah, I thought Sizzix was based in the UK. I would go there someday. I would. Look, I'm a, what do you call them, a royalist? Like everything royal and monarchy fascinates me. I watch oodles and oodles of different shows and series and movies that are period pieces that are from, you know, England or France or, you know, something like that. Where am I here? Did I do that wrong? It doesn't look right. Yeah, I did it right. Okay. Why is this not looking right to me? Okay. If it doesn't look right, it might not be. It's okay. And I follow a lot of YouTubers that are based out of the UK. Most of them, though, aren't card makers. They're journalers, junk journalers. Okay, did I do this wrong? I think I did. Okay. This is okay, we're good. We're good. Just want to make sure that the side is the shorter side because I want them all to be even, that's all. It wouldn't matter either way. It would house your stamp. See, just I've got my thingies going the wrong way. Not a big deal. So if they do go the wrong way, they're going to look funny. I'll show you. So instead, this is going to have to come around. I'm going to have to come around to the inside and go this way, which is not a huge deal, right? Your partner is a royalist? I'll tell you, my grandfather, my great-grandmother was English. And, I mean, she was a proper lady. And my grandparents did a lot of raising me because that's kind of how things happen sometimes. And my grandfather would always say, like, you couldn't come to the table with no shoes on, and you had to have your napkin in your lap, which is, you know, common politeness, but always to dine as though you were dining with the Queen of England. And so I kind of was brought up like that, to have that certain amount of decorum and respect. And I don't have a problem with that. Okay, so since I did this one wrong, I need to be more thoughtful about how I'm putting it together. Oh, it's my glue. Here it is. This is what I hate, is it bumbles up there. That's a word. So now I just want to glue this side instead. Not a big, huge, fat deal. I just got excited. Okay. One more, y'all. So that took, what, in order to do 14 of them, took, I don't know, about an hour. So, you know, I give up, or you give up an hour of your time or so in order to save time later. Doggone it. This thing just does not want to go straight today. Now let's make sure I cut this proper. Start on the short side. This is, before I started card making, this is the type of thing that I was doing. So 3D type paper craft, functional boxes, and stuff like that, mostly boxes. Okay, so this is going to be the bottom, this is going to be the side. Okay. There we go, those went the right way. I might want to score this one too. You know, stuff out of chipboard, and I've made multiple like ink holders, and then I changed my mind. Well, I got that thing that you guys have seen in my little short video before, this shelf over here, so I didn't need those anymore. I kept them, but and I still use one for my Catherine Pooler and for my Lavinia inks. See, this one is all falling apart on me here. See, this is why I don't like these bags, because everything just likes to stick to them. Let's see. How do I want this to go? Like, yay. This one was fun. Simon came out with this last Christmas. Yeah, very cool. So these come apart. So you can do lines of whatever type you like. And we don't need this anymore. At least not right now. I'm probably going to go through and do all my Technique Junkie stamps, and that's going to be a full day job. But right now they're just piled up where I don't feel like digging through them to find, you know, my favorites for any specific project or inspiration that I might have. See, that makes a big difference. That tan colored thing right here was making my light all weird. Because I notice now that we're looking at black, my light looks more normal. There we go. The car, it's 8.5 by 8. So I'm only cutting one side off. Okay. So what I have left is a bunch of these that are going to be great for anything else I want, because they're good size. And here's our bookshelf. Here's our books. Oh, I see, the stamp's trying to fall out is the problem. Anyway, I'll do labels, maybe in the center, maybe on the bottom, maybe on the top. And then I'll create bookends for them so that they can stand up on one of my bookshelves that's right here in front of me. I'll have to rearrange things, but honestly, this is how I'm going to end up using my stamps that I have versus having them stuffed away in a box. Oh yes, Regina, you're right. Oh, hey Melissa, took the kids to school. Snow flurries, yeah. I'm telling you, it's crazy. I don't know, is it snowing here? I can't see out my window from here. Anyway, guys, that's what I have for now. I'm going to label these. I don't know if I'll decorate them or not. I don't know. I may make a little container for them so that they can sit like this. Don't know yet. If I do, I'll post a picture in the community tab. And then a little bit later today, I'm going to be choosing my winner for my After Stamp Wars giveaway. And then I don't know if the girls want to announce them all together or we want to do it separately, but I'll get together with the other admins at FSC so that we can make sure that our winners get picked. All right? And that they get announced and they get their prize. My winner gets $25 gift certificate for Spellbinders. I hope you guys have a great Friday. It's my Sunday, so back to work tomorrow. And I hope see you guys around the rooms. Take care. Bye-bye.